Hey, Sarah. Long time no see. I never would have thought that I'd be seeing you again. It's already been 2 years since I took Jay away from you, huh? Time really flies by, am I right?
No, it's been 5 years since you took him from me. And I never thought that I would see you again either.
5 years? Wow. I guess it's true that time feels faster when you're having fun. Were you finally able to escape homelessness in those 5 years? Or are you still living a miserable life as a homeless person? I saw you walking alone in the city at night. Were you trash diving to see if there was any food that you could eat?
Quit making fun of me. You took my husband from me and kicked me out of my own house. And yes, I was homeless at one point, but I got back on my feet all on my own. Now I have a proper job and I make enough to live a decent life.
What? That's so impressive. I never would have thought that a useless housewife like you would be of any use to anyone. Good for you, honey. Congratulations on escaping homelessness. What kind of work do you do right now? Oh, and tell me where you live.
Why the hell would I tell anything to the woman who took everything from me?
Don't be so cold. You don't have to say it like that. We were classmates back in high school after all, and pretty good friends too.
You're nothing near my friend anymore. You stole your own friend's husband away from her, and in the end, you made her homeless. Not a day has passed where I didn't think about getting revenge on you.
You're still mad after 5 years? Seriously? You really could be the bigger person here and forgive me after that many years.
I would never forgive you.
Wait a minute. You're still in love with Jay, aren't you? That's hilarious. You're still in love with the guy who threw you away for your friend all those years ago? I mean, I guess that's kind of cute. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but he's still deeply in love with me. We went out and had a nice dinner to celebrate our 5th anniversary together just today.
That's great. You two are acting like you're just a normal married couple, huh? That's funny because you two couldn't get further from normal.
What's so wrong with celebrating our anniversary? He made a reservation and took me to a restaurant that just earned a Michelin star a while ago. I think it cost him $400 for each of us. I mean, not that I expected any less from my sweet little business owner. Congratulations on not being homeless anymore. But you're still never gonna get to eat at a place like that for the rest of your life.
Shut up. You should really worry about yourself more than me. Because there will be consequences for taking away someone else's happiness like the way you did. Don't think that you're just going to get to live this life forever.
How about you shut up? You're just a stepping stool to me. Your ex-husband will continue to make me the happiest girl on earth. And there's nothing that you can do about it. Bye-bye, Miss Homeless.
Hey, Sarah. Who would have thought that I'd be seeing you again? You looked healthier than I expected you to be.
What did the two of you want from me? I don't have the time to be wasting on you right now. I am begging you, just leave me alone.
We finally met again. Loosen up a bit. Or are you that busy with work? I heard from Crystal, but you finally found a job, huh?
Yep.
So, does that mean you're not homeless anymore?
Yes, I got back on my feet from nothing, and I'm living a good life. And I don't intend on letting the people who ruined it to come back. So please, just leave me alone.
You know what? I'm gonna visit the store that you work at.
What? Why the hell would you come to the store that I work at?
I mean, you were walking around near midnight in the city, so I'd assume that you're a prostitute, aren't you? That's the only place I'd imagine a housewife without a house would be qualified for.
It looks like you haven't fixed your condescending personality yet. No, I don't work in any sort of job like that, and I never have.
I mean, you can lie all you want, but the only person that you're fooling is yourself. Come to think of it, the only good thing about you was that you had a pretty face. So on second thought, I think a prostitute or stripper is the perfect job for you. If you let me go to your store, I'll buy you a few drinks.
I'd rather die of thirst than drink something you buy for me. And if you have the money to spend on girls, then I suggest that you save that up and pay me compensation.
Compensation? For what?
Don't act like you don't know. The day that we got divorced, you basically forced me out of my own house. I got home from grocery shopping and Crystal was there. And before I could even say anything, you made me sign the divorce paper. After that, you shoved me out of the door along with a duffel bag. Since you've been avoiding me since then, I still haven't received my half of our family's assets or compensation for your cheating.
So what? All the savings that we had as a couple was money that I had made on my own. Why the hell would you be able to take half of that away from me?
What?
And even the cheating isn't my fault. It's on you for letting the cheating happen, so it's your fault. I have no idea what makes you think that I should be paying you any money.
I don't care whether you have no idea why. I have the right to that money, and you're gonna give it to me.
I love your confidence. Well then, good luck accomplishing that. Even though it's far past the time limit that you had to ask for that money.
What do you mean by time limit?
Didn't you know? You have a certain time limit to ask for those legal fees. Since it's already been 5 years since we got divorced, you don't have the right to that money anymore.
What?
You're just as stupid as you were the day that I left you. You haven't changed a single bit. The way that your only good trait is your face, but your brain is the size of a pea, that's why you get thrown away by guys like me.
But...
I mean, it used to be annoying, but now I find your idiocy to be kind of cute. It's like talking to a dog. Crystal's better than you in so many ways, including the way that she's super sharp. She always knows what I need and what she needs to do, but she's been getting full of herself lately and it's starting to annoy me. So I've decided that I'll give you some of the attention that you were desperately craving from me.
What?
I'm saying that I'll be your customer and pay you a bit extra. You know, I could even make you my girlfriend if you want. Aren't you glad that you'll be able to date the love of your life while simultaneously making good money?
I don't have time to be messing around with you right now. I've learned to have enough self-worth to distance myself from trashy people like you. And as a matter of fact, I'd appreciate it if you never show your face to me again. Goodbye.
Sarah, I just came up with the best idea ever. Why don't I just ask Jay to hire you so you could work for him?
What?
Well, I heard from him that you're working as a prostitute now. But that job is anything but sustainable. I'm sure your employers are going to fire you as soon as you get too old for the job. If you keep a job like that, then you're gonna go back to being homeless again before you even know it. So I'll ask Jay if he can hire you at the company that he owns.
Look, I'm not a prostitute, and neither do I have any intention of working for you people. I don't want to associate myself to you in any way, so stop getting ahead of yourselves.
Sarah, I know that it's embarrassing to say that you're only qualified to be a prostitute. But we're friends after all, aren't we? There's no judgment whatsoever, even if you're making money by getting paid by miserable old men.
I'm not a prostitute.
You know, I wholeheartedly recommend that you just become honest to yourself and own it. That way, Jay will be able to hire you to be his maid. And you can do all of the cleaning and cooking that he needs for $15 an hour. What do you say? Isn't it much better than what you have to do right now?
A maid? Seriously? I wouldn't take the job even if you paid me $100 per hour.
Don't be like that. Just take a deep breath and really think about it. You and I both know that you'll go back to being homeless if you put your pride first and keep your current job. You won't find people who are kind enough to lend you a hand like this in a million years. This is a one-time offer. Work for Jay or go homeless.
Wait, so does this mean that you haven't heard anything from Jay?
Heard what?
That his company is about to go out of business at any moment? I'm surprised that he still has the choice to hire me at a time like that.
Wait, what do you mean his company is about to go out of business? That's impossible. His company is going amazingly, and I would even go as far as to say that it's at its best since Jay started it. I'm sure that he'll continue to expand it until we're too rich to spend all of the money that we make.
No matter how well the business is performing, if the police get a permit and step into your house, you're done. And I heard that they're going to do exactly that at any moment, so are you sure you should be bothering me right now?
The police? I don't know what you're talking about. Why would the police get a permit to search our house? And it's impossible for a company that's doing so well to go out of business. You're just trying to speak bad things into reality to feel better about yourself.
If the police are going out of their way to search your house, then that means that you've done something very illegal. I'm sure you were too busy enjoying your luxurious life to realize, though. Jay did something very illegal in order to make money. And now, thanks to him, his company is on the verge of going out of business.
You keep saying he did something illegal. What exactly is it that you think he did? Jay is an innocent man who worked hard to get where he is right now.
Yeah, that's what he says he is. But behind that facade is a man who was buying confidential information from his clients to make his business work. Thanks to that, his business grew to a scale that it never would have reached without illegal activity. I heard it's called insider dealing.
Insider dealing? Well, there's no proof that he was doing such a thing. I'm sure this is all a trap that was set up by someone who was jealous of his success. Someone lied to the police.
I'm sure that the police of our nation aren't dumb enough to believe it if it was a lie. And they have all of the proof that they need. Because even if you're speaking in a private room at a restaurant, everyone's going to hear what you're talking about if you're shouting like the way Jay was. And I, the owner, heard every single word loud and clear. Every single vowel of his confession to carrying out illegal activity to make his business work.
Wait, what do you mean, owner?
I'm the owner. You know, the restaurant that you and Jay went to on your anniversary. Also, the restaurant that Jay was using to have illegal meetings with clients. I own that restaurant.
What? You own that place? Wait, so you started your own restaurant?
Yep, and I was lucky enough to grow it into a pretty popular one too. But who would have thought that I'd be lucky enough to see all of this play out?
Wait, just hold on a minute. I don't understand. How were you able to go from a homeless person to a restaurant owner? You didn't have any money or skills. It doesn't make any sense that you're the owner of a popular restaurant like that place.
It makes perfect sense to me. All I did was start from scratch and take the right steps in the right direction. Regardless of whether you have any money, experience, or fame, you can accomplish things if you try hard enough.
This makes no sense.
When I was still homeless, the others who were sleeping at the park cheered me on. They taught me that no one can stop you when you have nothing to lose. And that really stuck with me. I told myself over and over again that the only direction to go from here is up. So I saved up money and worked really hard until I was finally able to open my dream restaurant.
And now you're this successful? What kind of a miracle is that? This makes no sense. Besides, you weren't there on the day that I went to that restaurant.
Yeah, I had a meeting on that day about the management, so I left a trusted employee in charge. And then, when I was heading back there, I stumbled upon the two of you after your anniversary dinner.
Really?
Yep. So thank you for coming over and dining with us. We hope to never see you again. The two of you are banned from my restaurant for life, so never show your filthy faces again.
You little snitch! I heard everything from Crystal!
Huh? Maybe I did call the cops on you. Maybe I didn't.
You little... How could you do this to me? Thanks to your big mouth, my company is done for. My whole life is done for because of you.
That's not true at all. Even if you lose your company, you still have a lovely wife and a roof over your head. You're in a much better situation than when I had neither of those things.
Damn it!
Do you even have the time to be texting me right now? I heard a rumor that it isn't just insider dealing that you're being accused of right now. Apparently, there have been several reports of bribery.
What?
Just so you know, those reports aren't coming from me. I've never seen you at a scene where there was bribery going on. But since there have been multiple reports, I guess you've been making lots of enemies.
You've got to be kidding me. Who's doing this to me? My company was just taking off. It's going out of business now? And I might get arrested?
What can I say? That's life. But I guess God decided that you deserved to have a taste of your own medicine. I hope you really acknowledge what you did and take responsibility for it.
Sarah, I need you to answer. I don't know what to do anymore. Are the police arresting me, too? The police came to our house yesterday and they just took Jay away with them.
I heard. I saw some articles on news outlets online. And there were multiple confessions from previous employees in the comments section. Things like, they never paid me for overtime work, and they didn't pay me for my paid leave with some sorry excuse. The whole internet community is your enemy now.
But I'm not a part of that in any way. I'm just Jay's wife, and that's it. I knew nothing about what was going on in his work life. I have no responsibility for this in any way.
You can tell that to the police, Crystal. But I'm sure that they'll need to hear from you since you're an important witness.
Hey, do you think I can still get divorced from him? I don't want to be a part of this whole thing anymore. I just want to leave.
What?
I mean, his company is about to go out of business, right? Then we're gonna have to let go of our house, right? Not just the house, they'll probably take our savings and everything we own. Then I want to get divorced and not be a part of all of this. They're going to take me away next if I don't leave now.
Don't be like that. You're his wife. He was a great husband who would celebrate your anniversary every year, wasn't he? Then I think you should support him through this as a wife.
That's all possible given that he isn't a convicted felon. If he's in prison, then how am I supposed to keep on living? I don't have money or a house or a job. I never thought that this would happen.
I mean, I could hire you at my place if you want.
What?
Yeah, I'll hire you and you can work at my restaurant until Jay does his time in prison and comes back. I can only pay you minimum wage, but I give 3 meals to all of my employees. I think you'll be able to keep going for a few years.
Are you joking? You're telling me to work for you?
Yeah, mainly cleaning, like the dishes and the bathrooms. Oh, and also as my personal servant. My legs are literally numb after standing up all day. So, maybe you can give me foot rubs at the end of the day.
How dare you? Who would ever do such things for you? You're basically telling me to be your slave. I have enough shame to refuse to do such jobs.
Wow, that was my final offer to save you. But you lost this chance. So I guess the only other job option that you have is a prostitute or something.
What?
Yep, I mean, you have no house, money, or skills, right? Jay said so. There's only a certain type of store that would hire a woman like that.
But I would never do such a thing. I'm the wife of a business owner. I was eating $400 dinners. How could I end up as a prostitute? I will not allow that to happen.
Then I guess you'll have to suck it up and live as a homeless person. I can tell you the park that I was staying at while I was homeless if you want. Oh, but the nice homeless people who helped me out aren't there anymore, so you'll have to get out of there alone. Everyone works at my restaurant now.
What? Really?
Of course. They're the reason that I was able to open the place in the first place. I invited them over for dinner on the opening day, and they all told me that they were inspired to get their lives together. So I thought they would make good workers. And they turned out to be exactly what I expected. They're now my trusted colleagues who basically made our restaurant into what it is now.
Oh.
But I guess people who are that kind wouldn't accept you as a coworker. They know that you're the reason I became homeless in the first place anyway. Sorry, I think I'm gonna take back the offer. Well then, I'll see you never, Crystal. Since you went through the hassle of stealing my husband from me, take good care of him. After that, I happened to spot Crystal sleeping at the park nearby. Apparently, she was almost arrested too, but was released when the police found out that she had nothing to do with the incident. Either way, she'd lost everything, including her house. But her pride got in the way of her asking for help from her friends. So now she's living quietly as a homeless person. I saw in the news that Jay wasn't getting out of prison anytime soon, so I hope Crystal makes it through. Anyway, it's another day of running my amazing restaurant with my amazing colleagues for me.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Hey, Zara. What is this I hear about you living in a fancy new condo building right about the metro stop? What happened? What kind of tricks did you use to land such an amazing place to live?
I didn't use any kind of trick, thank you very much. I pay for that place and so I get to live in it. It really is just that simple.
But what I want to know is how you can afford to pay the rent in such a place like that. I just happened to be out in the city doing some shopping when I saw you go into that huge condo building. At first I thought I must have been seeing things, but it was really you. I'm sure of it.
Well, that would make sense considering the fact that I'm living there now. I told you earlier about how I was going to be getting married to my boyfriend, right? Well, we did that, and we moved into this place to live together.
So then you've been living there since you got married? And does that mean that it's your boyfriend who makes you enough money to let you live there? That's amazing! I had no idea about any of this.
What do you mean?
I mean, how did a shabby basic girl like you land such a great guy? I could only ever see you getting with someone on your level, but instead you managed to find a guy rich and nice enough to let you live in a big condo with him. Just how did you find a guy like that?
Okay, Mom, you really need to calm down for just a little bit. First of all, it isn't my husband who's paying for this place. I am.
Oh, please. Do you think I'm going to buy that? You've always been such a fussy girl and you never even went to college. Do you really think I'm going to believe that you can afford to rent at a place like that?
And just what is that supposed to mean, huh?
You've always been such a difficult girl to deal with, ever since you were little. Do you know that? I was ready to send you to any of the best schools in the country, but you said that you wanted to start working already, and so you did, just that, after high school. But I said fine, just as long as you live at home until you earn some savings, but then you just moved out and never came back. Do you have any idea how worried I was when you hardly ever called me? And now the only reason I know when you're living now is just by complete chance.
You really haven't changed at all, have you, Mom? It's clear that you've already made up your mind about what's going on in my life, and I don't see the point in saying anything more.
I just want to know how my no-good daughter ended up with such a good man. It sounds to me like you would have been better off marrying someone like your little sister, Rita.
Excuse me? Did you really just say that?
Well, Rita is nothing like you. She was actually a good girl and very easy to deal with. Not to mention the fact that she would actually listen to me and went to college when I offered it to her. And now she's my pride and joy who works for one of the largest companies in the country. If only she could find a man just as good as she is, then things would be perfect.
Oh, so you mean that your perfect other daughter still hasn't found a man? Maybe you should just find one for her since you handed Rita everything on a silver platter. I'm sure she'd love to get married to whatever man you picked out for her.
I bet you think you're so clever talking to me like that. Well, you just wait until I do find a man for your sister. Because it's obvious to me that I can't count on you for anything. It's no wonder you'll never be truly happy.
Hey, Zara, is everything okay? Mom is grumbling about you a lot more than usual today, and I was wondering if something happened between you two.
Yes, we had a talk. More like a fight, but I'm used to it now. Is Mom really making that big of a deal of it back at the house?
Well, she's stomping around and slamming things on the table and kind of just acting like a big baby. And earlier she asked me if I wanted to find a boyfriend, and then she showed me all these pictures of guys who I guess she's ready to try and set me up with. She said something about having to one-up you and get married quickly. Well, she said she wanted me to find a better husband than you as fast as I could. Can you believe that?
Oh, jeez. Mom really needs to learn to chill out sometimes. I wonder if she even realizes how she sounds saying those sorts of things.
But I also heard from Mom that you and your husband have moved into this really cool condo building. I think that might have been what set it off for Mom. Not only did she not know you were married, but you married rich and didn't tell her.
Well, I'm sorry that you're always getting sucked into this drama between Mom and I always feel bad for how much trouble I've probably caused you with all of this.
Zara, I really don't think that you have anything to apologize for at all. In fact, if anything, I'm the one who should be worrying about you. I mean, I know you two are already legally married, but are you sure that you want to have your wedding be just the two of you?
Well, I don't really think that Mom would even want to come to something like that. And if I just invited you and Dad, then it would be a mess for everyone involved. I've already explained about our family to my husband, and he says that he understands and it's okay doing a tiny wedding with just us.
Okay, well, I just wanted to make sure with you. But in that case, I'll swing by sometime soon, and with your wedding presents, of course. Plus, I want to see this huge condo that you're living in.
Yes, please. You have to come and see it. We're pretty busy still unpacking since we literally just moved in, but once we've got some of that done, I'd love for you to come see it. You and your boyfriend are welcome to come in here at any time.
I can't wait! Just let me know when is a good time to come over, okay? We have to have a little party to celebrate a new house and a wedding soon.
Hello, Zara. I have something that I'd like to talk to you about, and I'm wondering if now is a good time.
Hello, Mom. This is a weird way for you to start a conversation with me, but okay. What's up?
You really just want to cut right to the chase, don't you? Okay then. Zara, I want you to let Rita marry your fiancé. It's clear to me that whoever this guy is, he's a better match for Rita than he is you.
You want me to let Rita marry my fiancé? You can't be serious about that.
I'm afraid that I'm very serious, Zara. I have been searching all month for a man for Rita but still haven't found one. But then I realized that I already know someone who knows a man with a good background and who makes much money. You were just holding him for your sister this whole time, weren't you?
You really think that I'm gonna go along with a word of what you're saying right now?
Well, of course you are. In fact, after doing some looking around, I think I do remember meeting this man of yours. Even I don't remember him at all that well. I'm pretty sure that he wasn't a fatty, and I believe he also went to a pretty good school too.
I suppose both of those things are true, yes.
Plus, he must be young and have enough money to afford living in a luxury condo, so I just know he'd be perfect for Rita.
Mom, you do know that Rita's already engaged to be married, right?
Wait, what? What do you mean? How dare you try and bring your little sister down to your rotten level? Unlike you, Rita understands that I'm always right about whatever I say. There's no way that she would be like you and just not tell me she was engaged.
Do you really think that Rita's some kind of mindless drone who just follows orders? And do you really think it's okay to force your kids to go to a college they don't want to go and work in a field that they dislike?
You have no idea what you're talking about. It's the job of a good parent to guide their children to success.
That's not what I think is happening here.
Well, that explains why you are the way you are. But if a child wants to grow up into a happy adult, then they need to do everything that their parents tell them to. And if they don't, then they end up like a problem child like you. That's why I tell people that I only have one daughter, and it's Rita.
I see, so you don't even think of me as your daughter anymore.
Of course not. And I also don't think that you should be with a guy as good as you are. You didn't go to college, and now you're just marrying rich to get out of having to find a real job. I'm sure that whoever this man is, he'll regret being with you very soon.
And just what makes you think that, huh?
Let me guess. After you two got married, you quit whatever little part-time job you had just to be a housewife. And now you're just lying around doing nothing all day while your husband is doing all the hard work. I just know that there isn't a man alive who can stand being with a woman who acts like that. That's why it's better for everyone involved if you just hand him over to your sister.
Hold on a second, just why do you think that I'm not working and living off of my husband? Do you even realize how hurtful some of these assumptions are?
Do you really think I care about how you feel when it comes to any of this? The only thing I care about right now is making sure that my real daughter is happy. And I know that she won't be happy until she has a husband who's as good as she is. That's why you need to give up your man for her.
I don't even know why I bother wasting my time when you're not going to listen. Although I just have to say that I can't believe you would literally try to steal one daughter's groom to give to another.
Well, if you don't want me to take him from you, then you better just give him up. A no-good brat like you doesn't deserve to have someone so great.
Actually, my husband did graduate near the top of his class at a great university, but he certainly isn't rich. So I don't understand why you think I married him for something that he doesn't have. Although if you really want, I guess I can just do what you say and hand him over.
Wait a minute. What do you mean he isn't rich? He's paying for you both to live in that huge condo. He must make a ton of money.
I told you already that I'm the one who pays for the condo. Meanwhile, he works as a freelancer and the amount of money he brings in can really depend on the month. So that's why I pay the rent and utilities.
You have got to be kidding me.
In exchange, he takes care of all the housework for us. We have a really good thing set up and our relationship isn't just based on money. So I wish you would stop trying to make this about money.
You have got to be lying to me. If he really went to a good school, then how could he not make that much money? You've always been a little liar ever since you were little, and you're doing it again now. You're the one who doesn't make that much money. I know it. You're just lying because you don't want me to take away your man. You really are a terrible daughter, do you know that?
I told you that you wouldn't believe me no matter what I said. But okay, why don't you try searching my name online and see what comes up? I assume it wouldn't be hard to find the business that I'm running as well as my picture on the board of directors page. Maybe that'll make you finally believe what I'm telling you.
Hold on a second. You're managing a company? Someone who doesn't even have a college degree is running a company?
Well, it's actually always been my dream to be a company president ever since I was little. But you said that that wasn't a good job for a woman to have and you never really showed me any support. That's why after I graduated high school, I wanted to go out and get some real-life experience. Luckily, I found a job in my field and used that as a jumping-off point to build my career. And now I run a company and live in a huge condo.
This has got to be some sort of sick joke, right?
I've told you 3 times now that I'm the one who's paying the rent. So I'll keep the house, but if you really want my freelancer, I guess I can hand him over to Rita. She might even be happy to finally be getting married.
Wait a minute. That means that this man isn't a good fit for Rita at all.
He might have a good education, but if he doesn't make money, then all of that will cause trouble for Rita in the future.
But unlike me, Rita is brilliant, remember? She's your pride and joy and only daughter you admit to having. She doesn't need a man to provide for her, don't you think? Anyways, I'll tell my man that he needs to start packing his bags, I guess.
Zara, oh my gosh, you totally took me by surprise. I mean, your husband was just in my house and told me that he'd come to marry me. You should have messaged me sooner so I knew that this was all a prank. It took me a while to figure out what was actually going on.
Oh man, I'm really sorry, but that's too funny. But you're right, I was at work and I couldn't give you a call, so I'm sorry about that. I knew you'd be able to figure it out on your own though, so I wasn't worried.
Well, you're lucky I caught on, because I talked to Fred and then I told Mom I was moving out. I told her we were going to get married, but we're just waiting in a cafe now.
You mean you went along with it? Thank you so much, Rita.
You don't need to thank me. I actually use this to my advantage as well, you know.
Oh really? How'd you do that?
Well, this was finally my excuse to move out of the house. So I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to have to borrow your husband for a little while longer. He's going to help me make it, so I move out of Mom's place permanently.
You mean you really want to move out?
I've wanted to. For a long, long time, actually. But, you know, Mom, she would never allow it. She was always so worried something that would happen to me if I left the house by myself. I tried asking Dad to talk some sense into Mom, but she wasn't having any of it.
I had no idea she'd gotten that bad.
But now, this is my chance to finally escape. And you already told her that Fred is a freelancer and that you own a condo, right? I bet that means that Mom is going to be really against me marrying this guy. I'm going to use that guy as my ticket out of here.
You mean you're really going to run off with my husband for a while?
Well, I'm going to let Mom think until she gives up. Even though she'll be against the wedding, I'll tell her that we're madly in love and that we're eloping far away.
Well, it doesn't sound like the worst idea I've ever heard. In fact, knowing how sensitive Mum is about her reputation, I'm sure that she wouldn't tell a soul about this, given how scandalous it all sounds. If there's anything you want me to do to make it more convincing, just let me know.
I'll tell Mom that we're eloping, and as soon as I find a place to live, I'll give Fred back to you. So hopefully this won't take more than a day or two.
If that's how long you need him for, then you've got him. Maybe the three of us can meet up and look for a place for you. My work's finally settling down, and I think I should be able to get some time off.
That would be amazing if you could help me. I'll send you the address for the cafe. Just look for Fred and I. Zara, what are we going to do? Your sister has run off and she hasn't come back. She told me that she was going to marry your fiancé and then ran off. And that was yesterday.
I guess Rita isn't the good obedient girl you thought she was.
I don't know what's gotten into her. We can't let her marry this man. It'll be horrible for her. You have to get a hold of her and tell her that I made a mistake in choosing him for her. She said that she fell in love with Fred at first sight, and I think they ran off to get married.
Wow, so things move pretty quickly for them, I guess. I never knew that Rita was that kind of girl.
This isn't the time to be joking. We have to do something.
I think that you should probably just respect the wishes of your daughter and let her have this, don't you think?
What are you talking about? Don't you know how embarrassing it would be for me to tell people my golden girl ran off with her sister's fiancé?
Well, I guess I'm glad you have your priorities straight.
You don't understand. All my neighbors just love Rita and talk about what an amazing girl she is. How am I supposed to face them now?
But isn't the happiness of your favorite daughter more important than anything else?
I got it. How about you come here to live with me and then I tell everyone how amazing my other daughter is?
Yeah, no, that sounds like a horrible decision for me. Besides, you already made it very clear to me that you didn't think of me as your daughter. And now, thanks to your meddling in our lives, you've lost both your daughters. Send Dad my love. In the end, Rita never came back, and Mom only became more ashamed of what had happened. She stopped talking to all her neighbors and even stopped leaving the house. Rita and I explained the truth of what happened to our dad and asked him to keep our secret. He understood and agreed. And after that, Fred and I were finally able to have our tiny wedding. Meanwhile, Rita is living her dream of an independent life and was overjoyed at the realization that she would get to decorate her apartment however she liked.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.